Welcome to the Voices of the Caring Place, the podcast that is reaching many throughout the country. Today, we have on our show, Brian Peterson, and we're diving into the world of art. We're diving into the world of art with empathy, community transformation through creativity, and our guest just isn't a painter. He's a bridge builder. He's a storyteller. He is a visionary. Brian Peterson is nationally recognized muralist that's known for creating massive murals across beautiful walls. His work has emotionally charged many walls and changed the lives of many. Brian is a founder of the nonprofit Faces of Santa Ana, where he paints striking portraits of people experiencing homelessness, and he uses those proceeds to help meet their needs. His work has sparked similar movements in cities across the country, and his murals have become symbols of dignity and connection and hope for many. From collaborating with city governments to working alongside with local residents, Brian has proven that art can be a powerful force for healing and belonging in society. So today we're talking about creativity with a purpose. We're talking about stories of faces on a wall that show how compassion can turn a paintbrush into a catalyst for social change. So sit back, get inspired, and welcome to our podcast show, our muralist and change maker, Brian Peterson. Brian, welcome to the show. Thank you for joining us here at the Voices of the Caring Place. Can you tell us a little bit about the mural you created for the Caring Place and what inspired you to design this message for the Caring Place?
Absolutely. First of all, thank you for having me, Tony. It's an honor to sort of sit here in the beginning of something that I think you guys is going to be really special in the earth. Yes. But our relationship stems back a couple years now. We were talking about this mural for some time, and it's really gratifying that there's like the fulfillment of it on your building now. But that mural on the Caring Place came out of conversation. It came out of relationship with the team. And I'll never forget asking you all, what's on your heart for the mission? I think I specifically asked, what is God doing at your job? And I was speaking to all your leadership. And after hearing everybody's response, what I noticed is that in every single person's heart, that graduation ceremony, when one of your friends that are coming off the streets is now like being reacclimated after having gone through your program, when people spoke about that event, their hearts lit on fire.
What emotions or ideas are you hoping to capture through this wonderful mural that you created for the Caring Place?
As an artist, there's a lot of reactions to a piece of art. Many of them are, oh, wow, it's so beautiful, it's so colorful. The thing that I'm usually hoping and searching for, which is actually hard to describe with words, is when someone stands in front of a project, a mural, and has no words, where they're speechless. And that's the moment where you know God's doing something internal.
The thing that blows me away is how God put things together for the Caring Place and you and your family, and it is family. It feels like it's family, but as you were drawing that mural, right? We have a story, right? We have the story of John that graduated our program years ago, and as we talk about that, right? You're getting ready to do your thing, to put it up, and he thinks we're drawing him, right? How did that come to pass? Let's talk a little bit about that.
When those of you watching, when you see the mural, there's a 40-foot tall face of a man praying on the side of this building. And so we get to the site. I designed the artwork first, correct, never having met this man. Get to the site, and
not only that, Brian, I don't mean to interrupt you, but not only that, you design it, but there's 3 designs. And then I take it to the board and they pick that one.
Yes.
All right, they pick that one. The team picks that one, even though there was a little bit of going back and forth, but that was the one that everybody picked. So,
yeah, and then so I get to the site the first day and they say, here, this is our maintenance manager here. John's gonna be helping you out. And I'm looking at John and I'm thinking about the artwork, and all of a sudden I think it was Melissa on your team. She's like, he kind of looks like the artwork, doesn't he?
Yeah, right.
And then I even asked him, I'm like, hey man, hold up your hands for a minute. Like, and I'm looking at John's hands, and even his hands look like the photo, right? And so, yeah, I think God is in things in a way that we don't understand.
And I think as we continue to talk here about your creativity of what God where God has called you from and where God has put you, is that you don't know, but John probably needed to see that he was part of something in his life.
Yeah.
And so God was preparing that, not only for John, but for the many people that are going to see that mural, and the many people that are, like you said, that are going to walk in through our doors, that are going to be there, that are going to get inspired by that are going to get to the point where, hey, listen, I want to get to those steps. I want to get to those steps in life where I could take my next step in my recovery, in my restoration, in my transformation, in my hope, that I do matter. And that's the whole purpose of that mural, that people know that they do matter. And they do belong, and that they do change here at the Caring Place. So as we talk a little bit about that, I know we plan it. You have particular stories from the Caring Place that you've heard throughout the years as you met the team. Tell us a little bit about the materials and the techniques and the things that you use for this piece, because people think, that's easy. Let's just paint.
Yeah, if you take that back, the heart of what I do, if I can distill it down to like
Correct.
the lowest common denominator,
yes, please do.
Is I realize today more than ever that my art is worship, right? And so I use spray cans to paint art, to paint my murals, but in my heart, what I'm thinking while I'm painting is, wow, God, although I have this spray paint in my hand, like, man, thank you for the pigments of the earth.
Right.
Thank you for the metal of this can. Everything that I'm using to put that mural on the wall was actually from the earth, right? And so all I'm really doing is giving back to God what he's given me. And it just so happens to be pigments in a can. Yeah. And I even take that a step further. So I love technology. Yeah. And so you'll see me on some murals now and I'll have these VR goggles on.
I saw.
And I saw that. It's a big headset and there's like batteries on top of it. It's just crazy looking, right? Yeah. But even in that, like you think about that piece of technology, what has happened in the technological field to make that even possible all came from the dirt. Yeah. All of that stuff was given to us by God, and some genius made it into a headset that now I can use to glorify him again on the wall.
So, give God the glory and to move forward. Tell us a little bit about how you incorporate your murals to uplift people and to show people how to do these murals.
I think as you start to like master something alongside the Lord, I think the natural tendency when you're walking with God is to then make disciples, right? Like that's actually like what we're commissioned to do. And so when I think about what I do today, I think I've mastered something in my life alongside Jesus, and now I want to give that away. And so we've had conversations. How do we bring some of your team along? How can I show other people this avenue of worship? Right? And that's actually my next step. That's the season I am in my own life, where I'm like, man, I'm so filled up with knowledge and expertise that it's almost like I have to give it away.
Do you think that art is a dying thing, or do you think that with these murals popping up all over our country that you want to continue to pour into the young artist so that he can say, hey, I can do this too. Keep doing your work, keep doing your thing?
Yeah, as a professional full-time mural artist, I think there's a rise in creativity right now. And like anyone that's watching that is a creative, I'd encourage them, like, run after your creative gift. Run after your dream. Yes.
See, listen to what Brian's saying. Run after your dream. Run after your what God has given you, and don't put it in a box. Right.
But think about it this way too. Like the first introduction we have to God in the Bible is what? In the beginning, God created.
Correct.
So our first introduction to God the Father is as a creative.
Wow.
Right? And we forget that. So I think God's heart for creativity is huge. I think when we create, like think about it as a father, like watching your son or me watching my daughter or my sons create, how happy that makes you. So sometimes we forget that God's a father. And I think when he sees us creating down here, especially if we understand that that's actually worship unto you, I think he's faithful to breathe on that and multiply that.
You talked about my son, and that inspires us to trust God, because, I know that coming back from the background that I come from, Latin parents didn't too much want you to go into anything creative. They were like, you need to find something that's going to put the money on the table. And through watching you and watching a few of other friends of the family that are into art that have captured this, I want to inspire Josh, and I think you have somewhat. I think that God gives different gifts to those that are battling with special needs, and I always, it's in my heart to share that as well with you and share this platform for those that are out there that are battling with this thing, inspire your son, inspire your daughter to do what they need to do with their creativity. So coming back to you, how do you choose locations?
Yeah, a lot of my business, man, it actually spreads through word of mouth, and I love that. I don't do any advertising or anything like that. It's usually like someone like you telling the next person. And I think probably 95% of my murals have happened through relationship. That's how my business has spread since 2017.
And I'm out there already showing people. I was showing the organization where I was yesterday, and letting them know, look at this. You haven't seen this, because everybody is okay until I blow it up on my phone. That's on your wall? And I go, yes, that's on my wall. Yeah. And like a coworker said, before we got the podcast going, right? Everybody's stopping by to take a picture and to look at it. Yep. What advice do you give artists who want to use their talent for community good?
The advice I tell everybody looking to start something is that your breakthrough is on the other side of your biggest fears. And especially creatives, we can succumb to fear. Yeah. And so whatever artist creative is watching, I don't care what it is. I don't care if you're a dancer, a musician, the thing that you fear the most is often where God's pulling you in. And I experienced that in my life. Like my first mural, Tony, I was terrified. Yeah. I was terrified to even give the client a quote. My hands were shaking. I was like sweating, like I didn't know how to do anything. But
talk to us a little bit about that, because God will supply all your needs. And knowing some artist family that I have, it's been a battle for them. It's been a struggle to get there. So talk to us a little bit about that.
Yeah, it's like this weird internal fight. And what I mean by that is like, I've landed mural jobs simply because I began cold calling people that I was afraid to call as well. And so there's like, you have to go out and do the things that make you uncomfortable. Like, I don't think anyone will ever find success in comfort. No. You have to be comfortable living in the discomfort. Step out, right? Yeah, which also in one way makes you dependent on God. Like when we're comfortable and we have it all figured out in our minds, like you often find yourself not needing to depend on him. But living in the discomfort, stepping out of the boat into unknown waters, this is all the language of things that you should be actually doing, knowing that God's gonna be there to catch you. But if you're doing the same thing over and over and over and not seeing results, I can almost guarantee you're not stepping into discomfort. You're just doing what's normal to you. And so like, most of the time the Holy Spirit has ever told me to do something, it's been something that's uncomfortable. I don't want to do it. It's outside of my character, all these things. And this is how God moves us from glory to glory. He takes us through those moments of stretching.
So how do you ensure that people and stories represented in your art feel truly seen and honored?
I use color, I use vibrancy and those things. But the deeper answer is that I believe that in every human being, they have the ability to sense care. They can sense, all of us can sense when somebody cares about you.
And truly cares.
Truly cares. And so for me, if I commit myself to getting up on a scaffold and worshiping through every moment, then people will feel care and God's presence.
That's something there that means a lot, because a lot of the population that we deal with at the Caring Place is voices of people that are not being heard anymore. Yeah. And they feel like they're an outcast in society, and you have to show the care.
It's in the title, Caring Place.
The Caring Place, correct? And good catch. and it's great that we do care. Yeah. And at the Caring Place, we want to hear your voice. And at the Caring Place, we want to make sure that we're reaching you through the mural, through the Hope Begins with a Meal, through whatever it is that we're doing, so that we can get to that moment of praying hands and walking those stairs of success. Absolutely. So looking back, is there a particular mural or project that changed your life personally?
Man, as of late, I did a mural that was kind of a collaboration with my wife. Okay. Where she gave me an idea that the Lord put on her heart. And it lives in Long Beach. It's actually the tallest mural in Long Beach on the Marriott Hotel in downtown. And it's a little girl blowing bubbles. She's like a little 6 or 7 year old girl. She looks kind of like my daughter.
I've seen it.
She's blowing bubbles into the sky. And that mural has encouraged so many people in downtown Long Beach, because they look at that and they see like, oh, like she's a dreamer. You think about a bubble.
Dreamer, your childhood, your moments where you were the happiest with your life. Absolutely. Probably. And there's so many things that could go with those bubbles.
Yeah, think about a bubble. A bubble only lasts for about 5 seconds and then it's gone. So it's like a fleeting idea.
And it's almost like notion. A life, right? Life is quick. And,
exactly.
And it's funny, not funny, but it's good that you shared that, because I live that through my grandnephews and nieces now, and you get inspired
Yep.
by their innocence and their innocent faith or how they believe things so simply. But
Absolutely.
So what's next for Brian Peterson?
Yeah, like an immediate future. What I hope to see next is that this little spark, this giant spark of a mural we left on your building, that would breathe something new into Wynwood. That Kingdom Murals would come to that avenue where the caring place calls home. But then, more practically, I'm going to paint 4 murals for a church in North Carolina, and then we have an 11,000 square foot mural in Fort Pierce. Coming up in the first quarter of next year. So.
Oh, good. I can drive up there and support you.
Absolutely.
So as we close now and you look into the camera, you look into those that want to be more creative, want to take that step, what would you tell them?
One of the most ancient stories in the world, a little boy goes up to Jesus and he gives him his lunch, all he had. It was a bag of bread and some fish. But that was all he had at the moment. And God took that bag and fish, that bread and fish, and multiplied it to feed 5,000 people. What I've learned in my life, if you give God all you have, especially as a creative, if you lay your gift at the altar every moment you wake up, then the Lord is faithful to multiply it. He will feed the world with your gift. It's what I'm seeing in my own life, and it's part of His promises. So surrender, lay that gift down, and He's going to give it back to you and multiply it.
Amen. So thank you so much today for joining us at the Voices of the Caring Place. Thank you for Brian for being with us. Like we say here, we care. Please partner with us. www.caringplace.org. Check us out. Podcast will be out soon. God bless you. Have a great day.
Hello, caring friends, and welcome to a very special segment of the Voices of the Caring Place podcast. In this segment, we're going to talk about stories of hope, healing, transformation, coming to life, and we're going to sit down with residents and graduates, all real stories, real people, and hear their journey of their powerful testimonies of change at the Caring Place. So today we're actually joined by a very special guest. He is a graduate of the Caring Place, and he's actually a staff member now. Some of you may have seen him if you watched our graduation video, or if you even tuned in live to our class of 2025 graduation. So without further ado, we have Benjamin Perez with us today. Hey, Ben. How are you?
Hi, how are you doing? I feel great.
Oh, thanks so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
So, Ben, why don't you do me a favor? Tell us a little bit about yourself.
My name is Benjamin Perez. I'm a recent graduate from the Caring Place, Spanish Alpha 47. I'm currently a staff member, and I'm originally from Brooklyn, New York.
What ended up bringing you to the Caring Place? Because I know you came down from New York. You said you kind of got stranded here a little bit. So what led you to the Caring Place?
It wasn't by choice, to be honest with you. I was offered some help. I was in a crisis situation, and they told me if I wanted to come to the Caring Place, I didn't have insurance. They said, don't worry about it. You don't need insurance. And that's what brought me here. What
was that turning point that led you to that crisis that made you come seek help at our shelter?
I think it was to the point where I would hit rock bottom. It was really difficult. My health was in jeopardy. My mental health was in jeopardy also. And I needed help. I knew if I kept up this lifestyle and what I was doing, I probably would have died or been arrested.
Okay, so what were some of your first impressions when you arrived at the Caring Place?
When I got here, it was a little overwhelming, but the staff made it really easy to engage in all the chapel services, the groups. And it was a lot of it was the staff, to be honest with you, because knowing that they've been through the same situation I've been through, they've been through the program, it made it so much easier to talk with them and have them understand what I'm going through.
Mm-hmm. But there was a situation, a moment that led you to this change, something that impacted you dearly. What was that?
It was the death of my mom and father. They died together in a car accident. And it was really dramatic for me because at the time I wasn't really battling any kind of mental health issues, but I think the loss of my mom and dad and the way they passed away really affected my mental health.
And how great is it that you're at the Caring Place where you have access to behavioral health counselors all the time? Did you go and see them in a few sessions?
Oh, definitely. And everywhere I visited with therapists, which helped me a lot. The counselors, the medical help that I got with the insurance that they provided for me, which was that was a big concern for me because I didn't have insurance. So I was like, how am I going to get my medication? How am I going to deal with this? And it really helped me out that I was able to get those resources.
So why don't you go ahead and kind of describe when you were in the shelter, what a typical day looked like for you?
Okay, I think a typical day started with breakfast early in the morning. After that, we had devotion early in the morning, which is great because it's a good way to start your day. You know, praying to God, being thankful. And after that, you get a break and then we go to school. We have a school that we brush up on our I guess, some of the things that we lost along the way, right? Reading, math, things like that. We have Bible study, we have chapel service, and all these things really got me connected again with God.
And I bet you had volunteers and stuff that were helping you through your journey as well.
Yes, it was really nice to see the volunteers come and to see that they really enjoyed helping us, serving us, and just giving their time to us. And that was a big change for me too, because when I seen that, I'm like, yeah, people really care. Like these people are really going out of their way to like service us or give some kind of aid to us. And that really showed me that like there's still hope.
There's always still hope at the Caring Place. I mean, that's why it's our name, right?
Yeah, correct.
And it's more important for you now because you went through the program. You talked about what a day was like as a client. You did, how many months was it until you graduated?
Like 18.
18 months. You did the 18-month program. Wow. Regeneration, Alpha, all of it in between. And then now you graduated last year, class of 2024, spoke at 2025, and now you're a staff member.
Yes, I am.
Talk to me a little bit about that.
Being a staff member was really exciting. The fact that they offered me the job, meaning they saw something in me, which was amazing. And now that I can actually help people that were in my situation, whether it's dealing with mental health issues, drug addiction, homelessness, it's an amazing thing. It's really gratifying for me as far as that goes. But being a staff member of the Caring Place is a great honor, and I'm blessed to be in the position I'm in now.
Is there like a special memory or a favorite moment or some instance that you'll never forget from when you first walked into our doors?
I think with the volunteers, some of these volunteers are regulars and they come back. And the fact that they remember my name, that was a big thing. Because I'm like, at one point in my life, I'm like, nobody remembers me, nobody knows my name. And if you remembered my name, that put a smile on my face, that warmed me up inside as far as like my heart and things like that. But that was like a big thing for me.
What was the biggest difference, the biggest turning point when you entered the Caring Place that actually led you on the path of wanting this restoration and not just coming in to get help with like medicine and all that?
When I was able to forgive myself for all the things I did, and stop dwelling on the fact that, I messed up in my life. And I kept thinking about those things where I couldn't progress forward. But the day that I forgave myself, that's when the relief was lifted off my shoulders.
Amen. I remember he died on the cross for us and forgave us of our sins already before we even committed them. So that's an incredible story that you have to share there. Now, one more thing, because you've had an incredible story to share with us. I want you to look into the camera and I want you to tell someone that's going through it, give them a reason, something about the Caring Place and why they should come here to transform their lives.
Okay. If there's any reason for you to come to the Caring Place, it's to save your life, to give your life to God. I think stop doubting yourself. Stop dwelling on the fact that you're scared or you might not be ready for change. Life is short, and I think that if you come to the Caring Place, I did it, you can find salvation here. You can find happiness here and hope. So I strongly recommend you make that decision because, like I said, life is short and you want to live the best life you can.
Wow, Ben, thank you so much for that. And more importantly, other than you being here, I want to take a moment to also thank our volunteers, our supporters, our donors, all the foundations, everyone that supports the Caring Place. Because if it weren't for them, we wouldn't be able to help you and to help you restore your life and potentially others that may come our way. So thanks for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
We've just launched our brand new merch store, featuring all the products and merchandise you use every day. You can choose the design you like the most. But above all, every purchase you make helps provide food and shelter for men, women, and children coming out of homelessness. Visit our merch store at www.caringplace.org/merch. You'll find Christmas ornaments like Santa hats and holidays ornament to hang on your Christmas tree. There's also a big variety of cuddle toys, t-shirts, unisex college sweat jackets, caps, unisex hoodies, tumblers, plus aprons, pillow covers, and so much more.
Thank you again for tuning in to our podcast. Don't forget again to like, comment, subscribe, and share to the Voices of the Caring Place. Until next time, everybody, thank you for joining us.